doesn't go out to the general public.
Okay. So we have no chance, do we have a right to see that? I mean,
Private organization.
you know, I'm sorry.
It's a private organization.
Okay.
So the council is allowed to see it, which they already have multiple times. We've been audited every year for the last 20 years. I mean, there's nothing that's hiding.
Just simply ran out of money.
We're in the process of reopening, which Mr. Ritchie will be discussing. He forgot about it, but before you came up, there's another part to this.
Is it even feasible to do that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
That
because
will happen.
here's statistically, Valley Regional came up here and proposed that they were putting an extra truck on, okay? That never happened. They're not coming into Freeland like they claim they were. Lehigh Valley, Hazelton has been. Also, Whitehaven Ambulance has been coming in. Not saying Valley Regional isn't coming up here, but they never put a third truck on. Most of the nights they have one truck and one chase truck, which what I'm meaning by that is one transport truck. So in order for them to cover the valley, cover what they cover in the city, and then cover Freeland, it's almost impossible, okay? Hazelton Area Transport Ambulance just shut down as of February 1st. They covered West Hazelton, which was ALS and BLS first due. Now Lehigh Valley Ambulance had picked up West Hazelton first due. So, I mean, I don't understand why people are derogatory of getting rid of Freeland Ambulance when there isn't enough ambulances out there, okay? There is gonna come a day that you're gonna need an ambulance. You're gonna be waiting for an ambulance coming from Wilkes-Barre.
Right.
And that's the honest to God's truth.
Right.
I can't guarantee you that you're gonna call us and we're gonna be there, because we're coming back slowly, and our hope is to start out at 16 hours a day, which we will compare with Whitehaven, Valley, and Lehigh to make sure that there is another truck on for the other 8 hours that we're not in service, so that I can pretty much guarantee Freeland gets an ambulance quick, even if it means for one of them to move a truck into our station until we come back in service the next day. We are doing everything possible to keep this ambulance open that, you know, started in 1954.
Right, and it's a shame that, you know, that
It is, and, you know, the ambulance means a lot more to me than just saying we have an ambulance. I got into it for all the right reasons. I almost lost my kid when she was young, and I froze. That's what put me into it. So it can
I
happen.
mean, I understand, I understand all that. It's just, you know, if it's still going to be, will we be notified that, you know, like an update on what's?
Oh, yes.
Because this says like no report, so,
Well,
and I'm sorry I haven't been here before.
put it to you this way, if we are not back in service by March 1st, I can pretty much guarantee you Freeland Ambulance will no longer exist. And that is coming from the president, which is me, of the ambulance.
So at that point, then you would have to disperse or do something with the building and.
Yes,
because when you have
the building would then be sold, all the assets would be sold, and then everything, according to our bylaws, would be split 4 ways to the Freeland Whippets, the Freeland Northside Little League, the YMCA, and the Freeland Senior Center.
Would it not be something that the borough would have use for?
It would be something if the borough wanted to buy it, yes. And honestly, if the borough bought the building off of us, that would keep us going today. Like most other departments.
So then and I mean, the other thing would be with the borough, the old borough building. So if the fire company would buy that off of us, is that something, I mean, I'm just looking at, is that something that if the fire company would buy the old borough building?
I don't know the fire department would want the old borough building. There's really no room to expand there, but I mean, that's not my decision.
Yeah, but I mean, is that?
That building would take major
Well, not even to, right, I mean, you'd have to do a whole lot to get rid of a lot.
But even the building that the ambulance is in, that won't suffice the fire department. Because it's only that little corner
Oh,
property.
no, I don't mean for the, yeah, I don't mean from, I'm just saying, if the fire company would be interested in taking the borough building, purchasing the borough building, doing whatever they want with it. the borough would then get money, but they then could buy the ambulance building.
I assure you the fire company does not want the building. I assure you.
We'd like you guys to tear it down so we get the property done. So I mean, that worked fantastic.
Thank you.
I would still like to get you where you want it to be.
Bill Copeland from Swallow Street. Lillian answered a lot of my questions, and you guys did too. One question I have with the ambulance, on social media, they're saying that you guys are supposed to start up again on March 1st.
I don't know who put that on.
Honestly, Billy, you can't go by what's on social media.
I understand that, but
If it did come from me or I will personally announce on social media, which I don't announce anything on.
Okay.
If it is true, it will come from me.
okay, that's what I'm saying. You can't believe everything
I
on
know.
social
There's
media.
also a GoFundMe.
I believe nothing on social media.
But there was a person on there, I'm not gonna say his name in public, but you can go on there and look at it, and he said he was supposed to start March the 1st with the Freeland Ambulance, and he's ready to start. I mean, that's what I saw, so I mean.
I have 8 people that would start March 1st if I had the money to have them get employed.
Okay.
That's why I just announced if we don't have an answer by March 1st, we will be under.
But you guys have people in line that could actually start, you guys?
I have people that will start tonight if I call them.
But you don't have the money to.
No,
Right.
that's the problem. I have crew that unfortunately they left for other jobs, but they would come right back because we are a good employer. Everybody likes the small town of Freeland.
One question about the tax money, and I'm a little confused, is if the borough is giving the ambulance tax money, why can't we see where that tax money is going in the ambulance?
It has to do with a combination of sunshine law and nonprofit regulations.
But we're giving you guys tax
Right,
money.
hang on, let me
Right.
finish, okay? Every member of council last year was able to come to our meetings and see where things went. Matt was at every one of them except one. So where the money was going was open to everybody, okay?
It wasn't open to everybody, it was only open to council.
Well, it's open to council, all right? Because what we did a year used to be 50,000. That was cut down to about 40, 41 when the additional money was sent to the fire company. That doesn't, the original statement was, if you go back 15, 17 years, it was supposed to be EMS tax, which stood for Emergency Medical Services. I talked with Paul Thomas, that was what his understanding was. Last year, it was changed to Emergency Municipal Services, so the dollar amount kind of went different directions. That is not enough to even pay our taxes, I'm sorry, not our taxes, our insurances and our fuel. Not even close. You're about 15,000 short. So donations have never gone up. As a matter of fact, they've either gone down or they've just been stagnant. We are not a membership drive, okay? We are a donation drive. That makes a difference. Technically, the other ambulances that are running membership drives, that's not a clean answer for the IRS. So years ago, the board of the ambulance decided to change it to that. Long story short, the insurance companies are still paying, in some respects, what they were paying 10, 15 years ago, and they haven't raised rates. We had our first rate increase January of this year. Majority of our people are Medicaid patients. Medicaid was paying us, if we got it all, $400 a month on a $1,000 bill. That was it. If it's an ALS call, paramedic call, they would go up to $600 on a $2,000 bill. And we cannot go after the patients for the additional money because you have to sign on to Medicare, Medicaid. Right. The other insurances, we could. But the decision at some point in the past by the board was that they would not do that. But again, there was money in the bank.
So what's gonna happen in the next 7 days that you guys are gonna be able to flip the switch and start working?
We have a bank willing to give us a line of credit for sufficient monies to keep keep us going for 3 months. That would allow us to bring in income from insurances. That would get us into the period of the EMS tax monies coming in. And that would also do the fireman's relief 15,000, which we're eligible for last year.
So what happens after 3 months if this doesn't materialize?
No, that stuff is there.
But I mean, if all this,
In the income,
if all the income doesn't come in you need, what happens after 3 months? You guys, I just asked.
it's not gonna be 3 months. You're looking at 9 to 10 months before we have to make another decision, which is early January of the end of the year.
So borough's only investment will be that EMS tax. They're
Yes.
not gonna be given any other, they're not gonna co-sign for any loans.
Nope.
They're not gonna give them any other money. It's only gonna be the EMS tax you're gonna get back.
Billy, the borough never gave us any money.
You got the
Period.
EMS tax. But I'm just saying, the EMS tax.
Yeah, but that's not coming from the borough. That's coming from the taxpayers.
Well,
The borough does not give the ambulance anything.
It goes from us to the borough, and the
Exactly.
borough makes it tax.
Exactly.
Right. It comes
So
from our tax.
that's, since I've been with the ambulance, and I'm a member of the fire department too, I'm not
Right.
trying to cause any.
No,
kind of
I'm
waves.
not either. I just
But
want to get
they-
some clarity,
they-
that's all.
We've never gotten anything from the borough as far as I can recall.
Right. No, I know. I know
So
that.
if you go way back, before the EMS tax was put in, the borough used to pay for different things. One biggest one was workman's comp,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, that's when everything was volunteer.
Yeah.
Workman's comp has gone up fourfold. It's 1,500 a month minimum. What used to be 300,
Yeah.
so it's gone up fivefold.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's because they base it on salary.
I just want to keep you guys here all night, but I just wanted to get some information. I kind of answered most of my questions, Joe, so. I just,
Look, I have nothing to hide, honestly.
no, I know that, I understand that, but like I said, I saw the rumors, you know, you hear stuff, and they said your guys are coming back March the 1st, and I
Well,
don't
I'd
know
love
what's
to.
going on, so, yeah.
I'm just gonna jump in here real quick to what Joe was alluding to before,
Yeah.
and then we can go back to the public comment and be done. So we are looking at a special meeting next week to discuss the ambulance coming back online and that type of thing. We received information today, we were unable to get it on this meeting, so we're gonna be posting a special meeting. I don't know exactly what day it's gonna be, as fast as we can get it on the agenda. We just have to make sure we hit all the laws, so we have it posted in enough time.
That's good.
But it will be
Hope
next week.
anybody wants to come, right?
Absolutely, a public meeting just like this
Here,
one.
just like this.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Except to have a special one for it.
Fantastic, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Matt Cronin, 939 Burger Street, for the solicitor. Lou Grill, great guy, previously on the zoning hearing board, resigned from zoning hearing to be on the Freeland Business Development Authority. Those are incongruent positions. Now, the Business Development Authority is not supposed to exist anymore, but lo and behold, in the legal ads today, they're having a meeting next Thursday at 4:30 to discuss general business. The borough passed an ordinance to dissolve them. I didn't see this council pass an ordinance to revoke that ordinance. So something's out of whack, just like I expected it to be. And again, this is nothing against Lou. Lies. I'm sorry, lies. Last summer, I went to an ambulance meeting, just as Mr. Kistin said. I said, did you change your bylaws to take the borough out of the dissolution clause? I don't know what you're talking about. It was Little League listed in there, because Little League's based out of Foster Township. I don't remember.
No,
that.
Little League is listed in there.
Okay, they're in Foster Township, they're in Foster Township. Every penny, if it goes down, should go to the borough.
Well, Freeland.
Lies. The borough did not take any money away from the ambulance to the fire department. There was an increase to the borough's millage, and there was a separate new tax put in for the fire department, which was totally vetted by the solicitor's office. That's a lie. You know about the Facebook post. Bob Segari posted it. He was told by a board member to take it down. He said March 1st. He made many comments to the effect of, I don't care if they last in the long term because it's a quote unquote easy paycheck for me in the meantime. I have screenshots of all of it so you can look puzzled. Anyway, according to that post, the ambulance is going back in service on March 1st. There's also rumors that they took out an additional loan. Thanks for admitting it, Frank.
No, we
To
haven't
reopen.
taken anything out.
So they're hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt because they took out additional loans somewhere near $150,000 over the last couple of years.
Incorrect.
Thankfully, the borough didn't co-sign anything. I hope it stays that way. Since property tax bills have now been mailed, I will again urge council to place all ambulance tax funds in an escrow account until this whole thing gets sorted out. and to keep Valley Regional in place. And bashing Valley Regional tonight was disgusting.
Nobody was bashing Valley Regional.
Okay, it's my time to speak. Perhaps the ambulance should formally approach Foster Township, where they're also the first new responder, and ask their supervisors to have their taxpayers fund the ambulance. So Freeland's taxpayers get hit with a mandatory tax, and then they get a donation letter on top of it. And Foster Township gets the same thing for free. How, and what planet is that right? In its letter to council in January, the ambulance made melodramatic claims like brain death begins to occur within 4 to 6 minutes after you stop breathing or the heart stop. It was a misspelling of pumping. And it would be truly unfortunate if a Freeland resident had to wait longer for Freeland's one ambulance, since they recently sold their second vehicle because they are busy responding to a call in another community in southern Luzerne County. I recently filed a right to know request with Luzerne County to obtain Freeland's hours out of service since 2015, and the results were truly sad. Out of an possible 8,760 hours in a year, in 2015, out of service, 1,400 hours. 2016, 1,415 hours. 2017, the first year of the ambulance tax, from Mrs. Tolanowski, Mr. Bobby, and Chris Kimmel, 1,752 hours. 2018, 3,398 hours. 2019, 3,790 hours. 2020, 3,323 hours. 2021, 5,419 hours out of service. 2022, 6,206 hours out of service. 2023, $5,792. Make them prove it to you on paper. I said that to somebody sitting at this table. Make them prove it to you on paper. They've lied and they'll continue to lie.
Street, like to talk about garbage. I'm just kidding. Just wanted to put out there, is it possible? Okay. I made a joke about garbage. Is it possible to, and I didn't hear the whole thing about the ambulance meeting next week. It's possible to just continue this meeting next week instead of having to pay for